What is going on, everybody? My name is Colin, and today I'm going to tell you how to get an internship. Specifically today I'm going to be talking about the fields of cybersecurity and information technology, but if that doesn't apply to you, please don't click away because I have a lot of valuable tips that apply to all college students looking to get an internship or a co-op this year. My first tip is to start early. If you're an underclassman and you're watching this video, I highly recommend the best thing you can do to set yourself up in the later years is to go to the career fair. I went to the career fair as a freshman actually. My professor made it a requirement for one of our classes, and it was honestly one of the best things I could have done to set myself up for later on. It's a great thing because you go around the career fair, you dress up in your suit, you prepare your resume, you do everything that you would be doing, and you're preparing for your later on years. Because in all honesty, unless you possess some serious extracurricular activities like some security certifications or just some projects you worked on or you've done some research, the recruiters aren't really looking to hire freshmen right away. So this is your chance to go in a non-stressful environment, to dress up in your suit, to run through the steps, and to do everything that you will be doing on the big day when you're an upperclassman getting ready to get an internship. So you're going to make the paces around, and I highly recommend that you plan out your route, you identify which companies you're very interested in, and identify what companies you could see yourself working at full-time or maybe as an intern in the later years, because it's very important to go to these companies, build relationships, network, and honestly, with these companies, at least at my school, they send the same recruiters every year, and the recruiters are alumni. So it's a great way to network yourself to these recruiters, because every single year, if they're seeing your face, they're having meaningful conversations with you, it really gets your foot in the door. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story about how this applies to me. I told you that as a freshman, it was mandatory that I had to attend the career fair from one of my professors. I went there, I made my paces around, and I was actually very nervous in the beginning, of course, understandably. And so I went around to about 10 companies that I identified. And my last company was the one that I was actually planning to work for down the line. I really could see myself working there, and I had read the job description. It was a very good match for me. It was decently close to home, so I thought it would be a very good company to target at this freshman year level. It's a little bit farther out. So I talked to the recruiter, and he said that they weren't hiring freshmen, which is understandable, but I really got a better understanding of the company, got a better understanding of what they look for when you are an upperclassman, and I was able to take all this advice and really apply this to my preparation for the years to come. So moving forward, I actually, in that summer of my freshman year, I attended a information day that they had on their campus. And lo and behold, the recruiter that I had talked to was actually one of the guys presenting at the day on their campus. So it was another meaningful conversation we had, and it was great to talk to him and build my network further with more of the recruiters there. And then going back to the career fair, the fall of my sophomore year, it was the same recruiter there, and I know his name. I talked about his presentation with him, and it was really great. And then going back this year, actually, the same person again. I talked to him, and immediately when he saw my qualifications that I had acquired, my previous internship, my Security Plus certification, my projects that I've worked on, the fact that I was an upperclassman, because that company only hired upperclassmen, he took me right back behind the booth and gave me an interview the next day, first thing in the morning. So it's really important to plan this out far out and really go after these goals your whole college career, because that's how you get the internships that you really want. And so now I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to conduct yourself at the career fair. So I would highly recommend going to the career fair in a suit. It really helps you. It helps your confidence when you're dressed up very nicely, of course. And so you're going to approach, I would recommend approaching about 10 companies. You go on hopefully your school or the career fair location that you're going to this career fair at, post the companies and post where they're going to be at. So you identify which companies you're interested in, identify where they're at on the map, hopefully, so you're not stumbling around the career fair, because there were definitely a number of people that I have seen over my years in the career fair that they're lost. they're definitely lost and they're bumping into people. They could be bumping into the recruiter that they're going to be talking to in 5 minutes, and that's not the best first impression that you want to make. So I highly recommend identifying these companies, identify where they're on the map, and then really look at the job postings that these companies have, because you have to cater your responses to their questions. You have to cater your resume, and that's another thing that I'm going to tell you about. So one of the big things that I do in the career fair that differentiates me from a lot of candidates is I make individual resumes for the different companies, and I draw from the skills that I possess. I emphasize the skills that are also on their job postings. So I feel like this is definitely something that sets me apart. So when they're looking at your resume, they're honestly going to be looking at it for about 15-30 seconds at most. So they're going to read your objective statement, and then they're going to skim through to whatever stands out. And so you really want to make sure that that they understand that you're interested in their company, so that as soon as they see in the objective statement, I am a sophomore or a junior studying cybersecurity, and I'm interested in obtaining an internship at X company, they're really hooked at that point, because they know that you're invested in their company, you've done the research, and you really want to make this work. So going back to the process, you go up to the recruiter, you shake their hand, you introduce yourself, and then most of the time they're going to ask you for their resume. Recently, a trend that I've been seeing actually is that they'll be taking a picture of your resume with some tablets, but in general it's the same thing. You hand them your resume, most of the people that I have talked to, they're going to be skimming your resume as you're talking to them, so you're going to be giving them your elevator pitch. Definitely practice your elevator pitch, because this is your way to really express yourself further than the piece of paper that you're handing them. So I would base your elevator pitch off of your resume, but I would emphasize the things that you're looking to show them that you have to meet their job description that you had previously looked at before. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about how to set yourself apart even more from the other candidates at the career fair. As I made a previous video before about the Security Plus certification, if you can acquire a entry-level cybersecurity or networking plus, or the A plus certification, so any of those three, the A plus, network plus, security plus, this really sets you apart from the other candidates, because the recruiters understand that while we are full-time students, we probably have jobs over the summer, very busy running around, you invest the time to really learn more about the industry that you're trying to get into, and just putting an investment in yourself. And it just shows that you're willing to work over and above, because they know that everyone's in the same boat. They're honestly getting the same resumes from most of these people. They're in this club, they're in this class, they've worked on this project, and if they're doing this at your school, everyone's going to be the same boat pretty much, and the GPAs are pretty much going to be similar too, depending on how difficult your program is, of course. But you really need to set yourself apart through this elevator pitch, through your connections that you'd made with these people before, and through these cybersecurity or networking or just A plus certifications that you can really just do to set yourself apart. I forgot to mention before, actually, when you're networking with these recruiters, definitely get their email. You can, if it really went well, you can send them an email thanking them for their time, saying that you really enjoyed learning more about the company, you think that it's a great opportunity for you, and then connect with them on LinkedIn, because it is very important to build your LinkedIn network. So after all this, you've made a great impression on the recruiter, and they take you to the back of their booth. This is what most companies do this now. A majority, some companies will call you regarding an interview, but most of them will bring you to the back of the booth, give you a card, or set up an appointment the next day that you will have your first round of interview. Each company varies depending on how they do their interview process, but for example, the next day you will have most likely a behavioral interview with one of the recruiters that was there, and they just want to get a feel for how you'll fit in with the team that you'll possibly be on. Make sure that you know the type of position you signed up to be on, and this is really your chance This is one of my biggest tips for you. This is your chance to really learn about the company, because you're trying to get a job there, but you're also selling your services and your time to them. So it's really important to get an understanding of, for example, the work-life balance, the living situation, the hours you'll be working, like I said before, with the work-life balance, because this could mean a lot to certain people. So just find out what the daily life of the position you'll be looking for it includes, and stuff like that. Then you'll answer these behavioral questions, and then if it goes well, hopefully you'll move on to the next round, depending on their process. Like I mentioned before, some of the interviews that I had gotten, they offer you the technical interview, and it was at their campus. Actually, this was the company that I had told you about before, that I had scoped out, and I had gone to their recruiting events and networking events, and I actually had gotten the offer to move forward with the next step. It was at this time that I actually accepted the offer of my current position that I'm super excited about, that I'm working in a co-op next semester, and it was actually my dream job. So my preparation for this career fair really helped me land my dream job. The interviewer that I met with was super excited to see that I had done all these projects, done my Security Plus certification, had a previous internship, and he could really just tell the excitement about this field of cybersecurity that I had. So I was extremely happy that I was able to convey this to him and get the position. So I'm happy today that I went through this extra work, went through these steps, and I landed my dream position that hopefully I will take into a full-time employment. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way through. So I'm basically starting this cybersecurity channel to provide valuable information to high school students, college students, and people who are trying to enter the workforce. So if you like what I'm doing here, please check out my previous videos. I did a previous video on the Security Plus exam, so check that out. Please like this video, comment. Please comment what type of content you'd like to be seeing in my videos to come, and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more. I'm going to be putting out a lot of videos, and I'm just basically looking to get your input on what I should be putting out.